Shiners today. My goal is to help Cooper understand that an open door is not an invitation to exit. Whether I'm standing there, walking out the door, running out the door, he has to stay there and wait to be invited. So we're going to incorporate all different kinds of scenarios to help Cooper really understand that you cannot exit that door unless you are invited either by command or by a leash. And I'm going to be using a long lead today because I eventually want to get to a point where I can let it go and I can go out a little further and really test his ability and his understanding. So make sure you have something on your dog. I wouldn't practice this without at least a leash. So, okay. So I want him to stop right about here. I might put the brakes on a little bit with the leash and mark and reward for him stopping, yes. But over time, I want him to learn to just stop on his own. So I will fade out the putting on the brakes. So we're gonna do that again. Let's go. Okay, buddy. Actually, just put him on the other side. Put on the brakes, yes. At first, most dogs are not gonna know that you want them to stop there, so I'm gonna show him what I want, reward him for it, and eventually he should be doing that on his own. Let's go. Brakes, yes, good boy. And then I'm gonna stop saying the word brakes because I don't want him attaching that word to it. Let's go. Notice how I keep repeating? Yes. Good boy. That time he stopped by himself. I did not need to put on the brakes. So now we're going to advance a little bit further. I'm going to go closer to the door. Yes, he stopped with me. That's great. If your dog doesn't stop with you, then put on the brakes and keep practicing. Make sure you keep going through those repetitions. For a lot of people, or a lot of dogs, excuse me, just the lock or the knob is triggering. If you notice when my hand went towards it, that was his first thought, was to move in closer. So I want him to understand that this doesn't mean anything. And I can still mark and reward him just to let him know, like, hey, this is all I needed you to do. But we're gonna repeat it because I want him to lose that idea that I need to move closer to the door because she's about to open it. Let's go. So why am I doing that several times in a row? Because again, I want him to lose the association that a doorknob jiggling or a lock unlocking means I'm opening the door. Yes. Yes, you can see he has not lost it yet, so that's why I'm gonna keep going. Yes. Yes. I'll be able to tell when he has lost the association, when he's no longer trying to get closer to the door, or maybe he's looking more at me. Because then he's like, okay, every time she does that, she gives me food rather than open the door. Yes. 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 There we go. Yes. Yes. We're getting there. Yes. But basically, he's seeing the end result is not what he originally thought it was going to be. That's what I'm looking for. Now, while it's changing right now, it doesn't mean it's going to change forever. If I were to do this 20 minutes later, he probably would still go back to his other behavior. So we have to really make sure we repeat this a lot, maybe for like a week or 2 weeks straight, 1 or 2 times a day. Yes, that's it. Now we're going to go back to the beginning. I want to see if he can put the whole thing together or if he's still going to the door. Let's go. So he had the picture when I was just standing here and doing it. Now I have to make sure he can do it from step 1. Let's go. That was better. I like that one. Good job. Yes. Okay, let's try it again. I just don't want him moving all the way into the door, trying to get his nose ready to stick out you know, if I open it a crack, which a lot of dogs like to do. So I want him to learn that that's not necessary. An open door does not mean you're gonna get to go and stick your head out or your body. Let's go. Yes, good job, buddy. But he's still moving up, so I'm still not ready. Like, I do not want to move forward and open that door yet because he still keeps taking a step or two up. Let's go. Yes, good job. Yes, there you go. So I'm gonna practice just in this one spot just to remind him again. Yes. 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 And now let's go back to the beginning and see if he can do it from the beginning. Okay, let's go. Sorry, ready? Yes, good. This first marking and rewarding kind of gives him the reminder of what we're doing. Still moving forward. No, let's go. Let's go. Yes. So now he's getting a verbal correction because we have practiced it enough, but I want to make it very clear to him what it is I want. But I don't want to always give a verbal correction. Again, I gotta fade that out. I want him doing it all on his own. Yes. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning again. Let's go. Yes. And notice I'm not asking him to sit. Yes. I think that's important because if we set our dogs up in a sit, it's okay in the beginning if your dog's having a really hard time not moving forward, but you eventually want to fade that out. Because most of the time when accidents happen and the dog does get out, he wasn't asked to sit first. So that's what ends up happening is the dog only knows it if you've asked them to sit. And in an emergency situation, we're not there to ask them to sit. So I like for them to know it even in a standing position. Good. Yes, good job. Not every dog needs a verbal correction. You could also use the leash to put on the brakes at that point. Yes. Good boy. We're gonna try it again. Yes. Nice job, buddy. Now we're gonna go from the top again. Let's go. Yes, that's a good boy. So I'm gonna be really watchful here. Now that I know he still has that habit, I'm gonna give him a verbal correction if he even moves like an inch. Yes, that's a good boy. Good job. I'm gonna sprinkle lots of food on the ground, give him a little jackpot, because he did so good that time. I didn't have to give him any type of verbal correction, which tells me he's starting to get it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna move forward though. I wanna make sure he does that just like that at least 3 times in a row. Then I know that he's ready. Let's go. Yes, good job. So there you go. Wasn't ready. Just because he did it for me that one time before doesn't mean he's ready to move on. So we're gonna keep practicing. Let's go. Yes. Yes, that's a good boy. There we go. So again, I want 3 in a row. Let's go. Yes, good job, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna watch now here. Not ready. Let's go. Good boy, yes. Practice. Yes. Trying to make it really clear for him. Let's go. But this is what happens when you have a dog that already has a conditioned habit. They're going to rely on that default behavior every time unless you set them up for success. Yes. Good boy. I'm gonna Practice that a few times and then we're still gonna go back to the top. This is why it's so important not to rush. Yes, good job. Let's go. Yes, okay. And let's go. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's try that again. He's slowly starting to get it. Yes. Ah. So that one's tricky. I did say yes, but he also at the same time I said it or right after moved forward. So once in a while, if you don't end up rewarding after you said yes, it's okay. Just don't make it a habit. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Okay, let's go. Good. Yes. Now he's starting to get it. That's 2 in a row. Let's go. I need this last one to be successful, then we can move forward. Good. Now I'm just giving him verbal praise instead of rewarding, but I'll give him the reward when he does this part right. Starting to build more value in this part. Yes. The looking, I don't mind. I'm not preventing him from looking. I'm just preventing him from moving up. Good boy. All right, now I'm going to invite him up. That was 3 in a row. Boy. Yes. Okay. And now this is going to be a little harder. I'm going to open the door again, and being right there does not mean he needs to stick his nose out. I still want him to stay right here. Yes. Good job, buddy. Yes. Good. Yes. Yes. Now, just because he's doing it great here doesn't mean he'll do it great starting from the beginning, so I have to always go back to start. Let's go. Yes, that tells me he's getting it. So we're gonna try for 2 more successful ones. Let's go. I'm gonna wait till he's paying attention. He's sniffing some crumbs on the ground. Good boy. Yes. All right, I want 1 more like that and then we can move forward. Let's go. Yes. Good boy. Since he did great with that, my next step is to open the actual door and keep it open. Let's go. Yes, good job. Yes, so now we're just gonna reward him with the door open. Yes. Yes, good job. Yes. Good. A little bit more. Yes. Good job, buddy. Now I want him to understand that he's only allowed to go up to the silver plate. He cannot cross over that. I'm gonna give him a little bit more leash. I'm gonna step over here. He just cannot go out, but I have to be prepared. It is very likely he will step out once we move up there. So I have to use the leash to prevent him from actually getting out. So I'm gonna move here. Yes, he's more focused on me now, looking for direction. That's good, I like that. Yes, good boy. And since he's doing well here, now I want him to understand that me going out is not an invitation to exit. So I'm gonna watch here, make sure he doesn't step out. I'm gonna use that leash. That's why I'm keeping it short, even though I've got 20 feet right here. I have to be proactive and ready for the mistakes he might make. So I'm gonna step out, yes, but he cannot follow me. So to help him with that, I'm gonna step out backwards and continue facing him. Yes. And I'm gonna repeat that so he understands. Yes. I want him to see many repetitions of me going out, yes, but it doesn't mean anything for him. Yes. Well, it just means you have to stay where you are. Yes. Good. Yes. Okay. And now we're going to start that all the way from the beginning. You always have to make sure that they have the whole picture. Let's go. We're going to wait. I'm not going to reward him until I fully step out. If he messes up, I use the leash and we start over. Good. Yes. Nice job. So since he was able to do that without any mistakes, we can move forward. Yes. Yes. Good. Now I'm going to turn this way and turn back around. Yes. Because obviously in real life, I'm not going to always be walking out backwards. Yes. I'm going to give him a little bit more leash. Yes. And now I want him to practice just staying there. You don't have to let go of the leash if you don't want, but I want to walk around a little bit. Yes. And make sure he understands he has to stay in that doorway. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Then I'm going to invite him out. Cooper, come. Yes. Good boy. And then we're going to practice that whole scenario again, and we're going to practice it in different ways. I might run out, rush out, walk out. I might have the door already open or just open it and rush out. You have to try all different scenarios so that your dog understands it in all cases. Because what's likely to happen in an accident or an emergency situation is not going to be the setup that you've done in training with, you know, the typical taking one step at a time. You're going to rush and open that door quickly, or kids are going to rush and open that door, or the door's going to unexpectedly open. So you got to really set them up for success so they get all of the pictures, okay? All right, we're going to run that all the way through to the beginning. Come on, buddy. Let's go. So I'm still doing each step. I'm just not rewarding him for each step anymore. Yes, I'm going to reward him for this one. Yes. Turn back. Yes. Just turning this way. Yes. Drop the leash. I'm going to walk around. Keep my eye on him. Yes. Boy. Yes. And if he did come out, I would just give a verbal correction, get him back inside, and repeat the whole thing. You have to be quick though. Use that leash to prevent them from getting out. If you have a dog that the second you got here, they were gonna dart out, you might be moving too fast. So that's something you might need to think about. Look at how long I had to spend on that first or second step. And then once we got here, he started getting it. So he no longer was making mistakes. So don't rush it. But like I said, if he were to have made a mistake, I would have verbally corrected, gone into his space to get him back inside, grab the leash, start over. Yes, good boy. Yes. And again, I'm not doing this before a walk. I'm doing this so that he sees this isn't resulting in a walk. And a lot of times dogs want to dart out because that might be the only time they ever get to hang out front or come out front. And I want him to see that there's no result. Like, I might invite you out for a second, but we're just going back in the house. So coming out here is no reason to get excited or nervous because nothing's happening. Yes. Good boy. Now I'll invite him out. Cooper, come. Yes, good boy. That's good, honey. All right, we're gonna try one more time, but this time I'm gonna add in a few other scenarios, like coming out a little faster. But we're just gonna start from here. I'm gonna drop the leash. Yes. It's a good idea. Good way for you to see. Quick correction. Just moved into his space, gave him a verbal correction, pointed where he needed to go. But I'm gonna repeat that since that's where he failed. Yes. Good. Yes. So I'm exiting quickly, yes, but I'm also marking and rewarding fast, almost like to prevent him from following me, so he can clearly see, yes, what's getting him the reward. I anticipate he might have failed there if I didn't reward fast enough. Good boy. Yes. 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 Good job. Yes. 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 If you have other people in the family, you also may want to try a few times with the other people too. It's very possible he'll only associate this with me if I'm the only one doing this. And then, last time, we're going to practice it right from the beginning. All right. Straight to opening the door, dropping the leash. Yes. Good boy. And then the last one, I'm going to rush out the door. He failed. Let's go. So we're going to practice that a couple more times. Yes. Good boy. Come here. There's a good boy. Okay, I'm going to practice that 2 more times. Yes. Good boy. Last time. Yes. Good job, buddy. And that's it. We're going to have to practice this every day for a few minutes every day. Each day I'm going to start back at step 1 for like the next few sessions, but I'm not going to have to spend as much time. I'm probably going to be able to get out the door way faster the second time we do this, the third time, and so on. Just because he's doing great now doesn't mean it's done. It doesn't mean he's got it. You have to do many repetitions so that we can replace his current default behavior of like darting out the door, running out the door, putting his nose through the door with this new one. If you have questions, let me know. Yes, that's a good boy.